Welcome to spring. The air is alive with the sweet smell of blooming flowers and the happy chirping of birds returning from their winter journeys. Bumblebees buzz busily, collecting pollen from the colorful feast nature has laid out. Butterflies, with wings like stained glass, flit amongst the blooms. We owe all these colors and happiness to beautiful flowers that blossom in the spring. In this video, we will discover 5 beautiful plants that you can grow in this season. Get to know where these plants are grown and what conditions they require to thrive, as well as learning how to grow these plants. Snowdrops. Snowdrops can handle a variety of conditions, but they prefer partial shade and moist, well-drained soil. Look for a spot in your garden that gets some morning sun but is shaded in the afternoon. Snowdrops are typically planted in the fall or in early spring when the ground is still cool. This gives them time to settle in before the harsh winter weather sets in. Once you've found the perfect spot, loosen the soil with a garden fork or trowel. Snowdrop bulbs aren't very deep-rooted, so you only need to dig a hole that's about 2 to 3 inches, 5 to 7 centimeters, deep. Place each snowdrop bulb in the hole with the pointy end facing up. Space them about 2 to 3 inches, 5 to 7 centimeters, apart to give them room to spread out as they grow. Once all your bulbs are in place, cover them with soil and give them a gentle pat to settle them in. Water the area well to give your snowdrops a good start. Adding a layer of mulch over the planting area can help conserve moisture and avoid the growth of weeds. Just be sure not to bury the bulbs too deep under the mulch. As winter turns to spring, keep an eye on your garden for signs of life. Snowdrops are often one of the first flowers to bloom, peeking their heads through the snow to greet the world. Snowdrops are low-maintenance plants, but they appreciate a little TLC. Keep the soil evenly moist, especially during dry spells, and remove any dead foliage after the flowers have finished blooming. You can also divide overcrowded clumps of snowdrops after they've finished flowering to spread the beauty around your garden. Snowdrops are known for their resilience and ability to multiply quickly. Once established, they'll naturalize and spread, creating a carpet of delicate blooms year after year. Share the joy by dividing and transplanting clumps to other areas of your garden or giving bulbs to friends and neighbors. GLADIOLUS. Gladiolus comes in a rainbow of colors, so pick your favorites. From fiery reds to cool blues, there's a gladiolus for every garden palette. Plant your gladiolus bulbs in the spring after all danger of frost has passed. This gives them plenty of time to grow and bloom before the end of the season. Gladiolus bulbs, or corms, like well-drained soil and plenty of sunshine. Choose a spot in your garden that gets at least 6 hours of sunlight per day and has soil that's loose and crumbly. Use a shovel or garden trowel to dig a trench that's about 6 inches, about 15 centimeters, deep. If you're planting multiple rows of gladiolus, space the trenches about 12 inches, about 30 centimeters, apart. Now it's time to place your gladiolus bulbs into the soil. Place each bulb in the trench with the pointed end facing up and the flat end down. Space them about 6 inches, about 15 centimeters, apart to give them room to grow. Once all your bulbs are in place, cover them with soil and give them a good drink of water. This will help settle the soil and give your gladiolus bulbs a jump start on their journey to becoming towering beauties. Gladiolus can grow quite tall, so it's a good idea to stake them to prevent them from flopping over in the wind. You can use bamboo stakes or other supports to prop them up as they grow. Gladiolus are hungry plants, so be sure to fertilize them every few weeks during the growing season. A balanced fertilizer will help keep them strong and healthy as they reach for the sky. Watching your gladiolus bulbs sprout, grow, and bloom into magnificent flowers. Keep an eye on them as they grow, and water them regularly to keep the soil moist, but not waterlogged. Once your gladiolus have finished blooming, gradually reduce the amount of water they receive. Overwatering during dormancy can cause the corms to rot. While your gladiolus are storing energy in their corms, you can give them a little boost with a light application of fertilizer. Use a balanced fertilizer or one with a higher phosphorus content to promote root development. Apply the fertilizer sparingly, following the manufacturer's recommendations. ALLIUMS. Plant your allium bulbs in the fall for a spring show. This gives them time to establish their roots before the cold weather sets in. If you're planting in a warmer climate, you can also plant them in late winter or early spring. Pick a sunny spot in your garden. If your soil tends to hold water, you can mix in some sand or compost to improve drainage. Dig a hole that's about 3 times deeper than the height of the bulb. For example, if your bulb is 2 inches, 5 centimeters tall. Dig a hole that's about 6 inches, about 15 centimeters, deep. Place the bulb in the hole with the pointy end facing up. Give your alliums some breathing room by spacing them about 6 to 8 inches, 15 to 20 centimeters, apart. This will prevent overcrowding and allow each plant to spread out and show off its beauty. Once your bulbs are in place, cover them with soil and give them a gentle pat to settle them in. Water the area thoroughly to help the soil settle and give your bulbs a good drink. Adding a layer of mulch over the planting area can help retain moisture and keep weeds at bay. Just be sure not to bury the bulbs too deep under the mulch. Now, all you have to do is wait for spring. As the weather warms up, your alliums will start to emerge, sending up tall stalks topped with colorful, globe-shaped flowers. It's like a magical surprise every year. Once your alliums have finished blooming, you can deadhead the flowers if you like, but leave the foliage in place. This allows the plant to photosynthesize and gather energy for next year's show. You can also let the foliage die back naturally, as it will eventually weather away on its own. Every few years, you may need to divide your alliums to keep them healthy and vigorous. Simply dig up the clump of bulbs, separate them into smaller groups, and replant them in fresh soil. Flowering quince. Select a location with well-drained soil and full sun to partial shade. Before planting, loosen the soil to a depth of about 12 inches, 30 centimeters, and incorporate organic matter such as compost to improve soil structure and fertility. Dig a hole that is as deep as the root ball and about twice as wide. Make sure the hole is large enough to accommodate the roots without crowding. Place a plant in the center of the hole. Backfill the hole with soil, gently firming it around the roots. After planting, water the quince thoroughly to settle the soil around the roots. Keep the soil evenly moist, especially during the plant's establishment period. Apply a layer of mulch around the base of the plant to conserve moisture, avoid weeds, and regulate soil temperature. Keep the mulch a few inches away from the stem to prevent rotting. Newly planted flowering quince shrubs need consistent watering, especially during the first growing season. Aim for the soil to be moist but not soggy. Deep watering once or twice a week is usually sufficient. Once established, usually after a year or two, flowering quince are fairly drought tolerant. However, regular watering during dry spells will promote better overall health and flowering. Foxgloves. Foxgloves are flexible friends. You can plant them either in spring or autumn. During these times, the soil is moist and warm, perfect for encouraging healthy root growth. Plant foxgloves from seeds indoors 8 to 10 weeks before the last frost. Use a seed starting mix and keep the soil moist and warm until they sprout, which takes about 3 weeks. Once they're a bit bigger, transplant them outdoors to their permanent home. Foxgloves like sunlight shade. Imagine them nestled beneath taller plants, getting dappled sunlight throughout the day. They also prefer moist, well-drained soil. If your soil is heavy clay, consider adding some compost or sand for better drainage. Dig a hole twice as deep and wide as the pot your foxglove came in, or the size of the root ball of planting from seedlings. This gives the roots plenty of room to grow. Place the foxglove in the hole. Make sure the top of the root ball sits level with the surrounding soil. Fill the hole back up with soil and pat it down gently to remove any air pockets. Give your foxglove a good watering to help it settle in. Water regularly, especially during hot, dry weather. With a little care, your foxgloves will reward you with tall, majestic flower stalks that will grace your garden for weeks. Aim for the soil to be consistently moist, but not waterlogged. Once the flower spikes start to fade, deadhead them by cutting them down to a healthy set of leaves. This encourages the plant to put its energy into producing new growth, and it can sometimes trigger secondary blooms later in the season. So, tell us in the comment section which spring plant will you grow in your garden this year and how many you already have. Stay connected with us. Like, share, and subscribe for more information about animal and plant kingdom.